This is going to be perfect for this session. Welcome back to King of the Fish. We're here at Wylands International Angling Centre. We are actually here for a whole week for this one. We're fishing for catfish and carp in here, and on the website it actually states that the carp don't get fished for that much. So hopefully with what we're setting out to fish on, we can nab a couple of carp, a couple of catfish, have a really good episode for you guys. So this is what is going out on my carp rod. It's PVA with crushed maize and hemp, with a hemp based boilie at the bottom. And then on this one, so this is octopus and squid in crab goo, squid goo. It's all just chucked in there in the tub, but it's a very fish based smell for the catfish. We've caught on this similar setups before, so hopefully it'll do the trick again today. I'm here with Dan, so you'll see him as well. But like and subscribe, and really hope you enjoy watching us while we fish over this week.
So this is what's going out on my first rod, my right hand rod. It's a PVA bag with a mixture of 4 or 5 different boardies in there. I'm also going to fill up a syringe with this krill liquid and put that into the PVA bag as well. Then when it drops to the bottom of the lake bed, it'll all seep out and hopefully attract the fish. Just make a little hole in the top there. Oh, more. Squeeze it in there. So just a little bit more. See that? Right. Let's get that out. Okay. So we're going to get this rod out, the right hand rod. The spot's about 25 yards out. We've not leaded around or anything yet, but I think I can feel this down and see what we've got on the bottom. Let's give it a go. I felt that hit the bottom. There was definitely a thud there, so we're fishing on a good surface to catch a catfish or a carp. And that's it, the first rod's out. Let's see if we get any fish.
It's just getting to the dark, so we're just reeling in our rods just so we can rebait our swims, put on some fresh bait for the night. On the catfish rod, which I'll show you in a second, I'm actually going to put some boilies on there on a stringer, so hopefully that'll flutter down onto the lake bed and create a nice scatter of boilies just above the bait. So this is the stringer of boilies that I mentioned, with the octopus and squid boilie main hook bait. Hopefully this just helps at the bottom to get a couple of bits of bait down there, and like I said, the catfish will see the one at the top and hopefully comfort it. But I'm going to get this cast out.
Here we go. We put them beds together.
No, you won't. Come on.
Oh, lovely little shower, look. Nicer than a bivvy. Good morning. This is our first morning here now. We had no bites last night, but Jamie had a couple of beeps on his left hand catfish rod that was just in the margin. We think that might be due to the weed. He had his line going over the top of the weed through the night. The wind might have just pushed it along, but we've had nothing else. So this morning we've got the fish finder out, the deeper fish finder. We're just going to go around the swim, try to map the swim out a little bit better, so we know exactly what we're fishing over the top of, with depths really, and if there's any weed on the bottom. So I've got all this set up now, so we're going to have a little cast around and see what the depth is. We're expecting about 4 foot. The bailiff said 4 foot, because this used to be an old stock pond. So it's basically near enough 4 foot all the way around, but flat. So there's no features at all really. Right, let's have a go, get this out. So we'll just wait for the fish finder to restore the connection.
And it's broken.
Yeah. So we're coming into our second evening down at Wylands. We haven't had no fish. We have seen a lot of fish activity today though. We didn't see a lot yesterday, so that's a good thing, I suppose. We're going into the night now. Me and Jamie are going to put a little bit of bait out. We're going to show you what mix we're making on this session. So we're going to chuck 1, 2, 3 handfuls of hemp on these, 8 boilies. These are squid mainline boilies. We crushed them up. These are new ones what we're using. Barbecue beer. Get a few of them in there. These are both high in protein, these boilies. I've actually crushed that up already. A few pop-ups. Basically, throw them in there, and that'll just, when that hits the bottom of the lake bed, that'll just keep coming up, and they'll be coming down, and they'll go up and down. We'll put them in there. I've got some marine halibut pellets, 10 millers, another couple, and that should be it. We'll give that a good mix, but that is near enough. I might put a little bit more boilie in it, but that is going to be what's on the bottom of the lake bed, and we're going to fish something like that over the top of it. Tiny little whittled down mainline pop up, that is. One of those. Just whittled down so it's critically balanced. Big PVA stick with just the hemper maize in there. Right, that's that done. Let's get this rig attached, get it out, get the bait out, and we'll see what happens. In this bucket we've got marine halibut pellets, robin red 20mm pellets, we've got squid boilies, there's also a couple of handfuls of like 2mm krill pellets, and we've soaked probably a quarter of a bottle of krill liquid over the top as well. They've been soaking for a couple of hours now. This is going over my float rod for my catfish, so I'm going to chuck that out now with a spum. Yeah, then we'll see what happens.
Morning. So it's day 3 and we haven't had a fish yet, but what we have done is we've actually moved swims. So Dan rung up the bailiff earlier, it was free, so we've hopped up here and we've set up, got our carp rods out, got our cap rods out, and we're fishing again. But that's taken us all morning because obviously we had to move the bivvy, the bed chairs, literally everything. The reason we moved up here was because over the past 2 nights we've actually seen catfish and heard them crashing over the lake, and it's all been up this end of the lake as well. So we want to be where the fish are, obviously, because we want to catch them. So we've moved up here. Dan's just about to head off and go to the shop and grab some bits, and when he gets back we'll prepare for the evening, getting all the bait ready and our spots, just so that we're fishing throughout the evening and into the morning. That was a carp. That is a big carp.
So this is the float fishing rig that we're using. So we've got 70 lb catfish XT hook link there. This is for the float rod, so we want it 2 foot under the surface. We go about that far, an arm's length, plus a little bit more there. Hook that off. Tie an overhand or a figure of 8 loop in the end for your hook bait. On this rig it's about 2 inches, the hair is about 2 inches, or well, it's going to be about 3 inches from the hook. I've got a size 1 Catfish Pro hook, just knotted onto there. I'll do 5 turns. 2, 3, 4, 5. Through. There's the tail rubbers we're using. Foxtail rubbers. Thread that on with a narrow end first, so eventually that end will go into the swivel. we just use a 5-turn blood knot. Just tighten that right down. Hit the end, hit your tag end off. Slide your tail rubber up over the swivel. And that's it. So we've got our catfish hook ready for our float. The bait that we've chosen to use for this rig is a bit of steak that I've just got from the butcher's. Squid boilie for the end as a stopper, so that the steak that we're using doesn't come off and slide off because it's soft. So that will stop up against it there and it will stop it flying off. Slide steak on first. These lucky catfish, you know. We've got burgers and sausages and they've got steak, Joe. Right, slide that on. A boilie, a squid boilie. Slide that on to get your hair stop. Yeah, we're using the kind what slide inside the boilie. You have to push them inside the boilie, but we do use the other ones that just sit on the outside as well. And there you go. It's your steak. Steak and squid boilie. Let's get it out there. So the bait we're using, we've coated in oil now, and it's made a great massive big flat spot in the middle of the lake. All the oil should go, it's on the bait, so it'll get to the bottom of the lake. If any carp or cats come and start eating it, it'll release some of the oil will come back to the surface and it will do another flat spot like that again. We've got another 10 spoms to get out, and then that'll be it. We'll see. This is what we've got to eat this evening. Smoke. Get that bacon crisped up a little bit more. We'll be away. We've got a barbie. We've got a tom-tom. We've got a burger.
So we're really confident about tonight. We've got all 4 spots baited up. On my spot, I've got hempen maize with a mixture of boilies over my spot, and on my hook bait I have a pineapple boilie. That's going for the cut. On my other rod for the catfish, I have, what is it, pork, Dan? What was it?
It's steak.
So on the other rod it's steak, and then just underneath that I have a beer and barbecue boilie, and it's got a little white tipper on there. On Dan's rods,
I've got on my float rod a bit of steak and a squid boilie. But the bit of steak is quite a big bit though. Quite a big bit of steak, and just one 16mm squid boilie underneath as a hair stop, basically, just to stop the steak from falling off. And on the bottom bait I've put about 6 meters away from the float rod on the deck, and that's just basically got more steak on it, another little bit of steak, and a small pop up just to stop the steak coming off again.
so you're fishing one still on the float, one on the bottom.
That's it, yeah.
Awesome. So I've actually switched to both on the bottom, just because the spots I've chosen, I think they're more likely to be on the bottom, and it's in a little bit of deeper water. But yeah, we're really comfortable about it tonight. I just need to sort that out. It's annoying me now. But it's brilliant.